Departmental Reorganization.
Mr. CEO.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. In front of you is a staff report that lists 9 different recommendations that include quite a few changes to the city organizational structure. City staff and I have discussed these in a variety of different ways and manners for several years. Others most recently looking at the organization and space issues, as well as being the most efficient and effective organization we could be. And so items 1 through 6 are a listing of changes to the organization that we're recommending that restructure the organization without necessarily changing the positions within those particular divisions. The following items are more structural changes to the organization. Item number 7 of the recommendation is a proposed elimination of 3 full-time positions. One of those is the Administrative Services Director position, one's a Human Resources Administrator position, and one's a Budget and Research Officer position. Item number 8 looks to reclassify 3 positions as part of this change. The Finance Director would become a Finance Director, Finance and Information Technology Director. A Human Resource Administrator would become a Human Resources Manager. Item number C would be a Human Resources Analyst. In Risk Management would become a Principal Human Resources Analyst. Finally, item number 9 proposes the creation of 5 new positions. One of those is a Public Affairs Manager for Communications and Marketing. The second one is a Public Affairs Manager for Community Affairs and Special Events. The third position is a Budget Analyst position in the Finance Department. And finally, 2 Executive Secretary positions to support the City Council and the CEO's office for the city. In the staff report itself is a breakdown of each department and the changes that are being proposed by there, and some justification and explanation for what those changes would do to the organization. In the fiscal analysis section, we include the cost for an annualized impact of these changes. That totals approximately $103,000 per year. For the current fiscal year, the impact would be approximately $58,000 in increased cost. With that, there's some organizational charts that are attached as well. Finally, attachment D is a more detailed fiscal analysis that provides the council kind of the total compensation impact for each of the positions that we've identified, and further includes the details there. One item of note near the bottom of the current budget year, we say Assistant CEO Services. We're looking at that as, and that shows a $98,000 cost. That's the continuation of the management partners contract through the end of the year. As we just saw in the last several reports, the current interim administrative services director, Tamar Letourneau, who is a management partners consultant, is integral to moving that process forward, of the RFP process forward, as well as providing some valuable assistance to the city moving forward. And we're proposing to continue that contract at least through the end of the year. And so that provides a good summary for the City Council. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for CEO Hatch? Hearing none, I have one speaker card, Tamar. And then if there's anyone else that would like to speak, now would be the time to come up.
Tamar Goldman, you know me. I was dumbstruck when I read of the frivolous positions tucked into the reorganization plan. All I could say for 2 days was, how dare you? You have eliminated positions serving critical core functions of government. police service lower, as I said before, than a respected police chief's minimum requirement, and even below that of your hired management consultants. The emergency medical services coordinator, who is in a literally life-saving position, already gone. Efforts to lay off half of the city's employees who do the actual work, keep the city vehicles and buildings in good repair, checking new construction to see that it's safe. And what do you add instead in this time of supposed austerity? 2 PR guys, a secretary to do your communications, adding another layer between you and your constituents, and giving you a perk that councilmen in better times took care of themselves. I hate to say this, if you are overworked, it's always you always have the right to resign. I teach Animal Farm, or George Orwell's Animal Farm. In it, the animals complain that the men do no work. They don't give milk or lay eggs or plow fields. These positions that you're proposing to add are positions that do not contribute to the work of the city. They're not the eggs or milk or plowing. They're frills. They're not the protection or the life-saving or the repair. They're frills. Again, how dare you tell the nuts and bolts people that you can't afford them and hire positions that we don't currently have? Nothing you have done so far could say as clearly as this hiring that you are just spitting in the eye of your employees and wallowing in your union-busting power, that this has nothing to do with fiscal responsibility. I'll quote from the police chief. The council, he wrote, and this just shows it. I hate to use this word like Perry Valentine, but I'm quoting, in essence, lied as they created the appearance of a crisis in order to appear as the white knight to a narrow band of political followers. The members acted as if they're owners of the business that is the municipal government of the city of Costa Mesa, but they are not. I'll stop there. It gets worse.